Okay, so there's one more example for 6.5 that I just left off. So let's pick up here example 7. So this is in 6.5 still. We want to start by getting rid of the square root, so we need to square both sides. So in order to do that, we will square both sides, and I can't isolate the radical this time, again, just because your radicals are not alike, so you can't try to get the radical on one side and everything else on the other. You just have to square both sides as is. So this side's going to end up being x plus 1. This other side here, you're going to have to FOIL out the different pieces. So I'm going to have the square root of x plus 2 minus 1. And I'm going to have to multiply this stuff out, so I have x plus 1, and here I'm going to start by multiplying those, which is going to give me x plus 2. Then I have my negative 1 times the radical, so it's going to be negative radical x plus 2. Then you have your inner terms, so you have minus radical x plus 2, and then you have the very last terms, a negative 1 times negative 1 will give me plus 1. So combine some like terms here. I have x plus 1 equals x. I can combine that 1 and 2 to make it x plus 3. And these radicals will end up being negative 2 radical x plus 2 when I combine those. Then from there, you want to get x by itself, so let's move, or we want to get basically this radical by itself because I have my x's that are like terms and my numbers that are like terms. So let's move these over. You want to group your like terms here. The x's cancel. We have 1 minus 3 gives me negative 2 equals negative 2 radical x plus 2. And now you're at the stage where you need to square both sides again. Now, for this problem, instead of squaring both sides as is, I would say let's divide over this negative 2, because by doing that, it's going to simplify the problem. It's not going to become a fraction. You could square at that point if you want. Doesn't matter, you're just going to get bigger numbers to deal with. So I would get 1 here equals the square root of x plus 2. Now I can square both sides. And I end up with 1 equals x plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides, and you end up with, so I'm going to write it over here, I end up with x equals negative 1. And then at this stage you would want to do the check, and I already did the check and it does work, so I'm not going to show that, but make sure you check. Okay?